Aloha and good afternoon. Welcome to Stan the Energy Man. As you might have noticed, Stan is not in, and so Rachel, the Energy Woman, is here with you during this power hour for today's Stan the Energy Man show. This afternoon, we'll be speaking with two special guests, Violette and Safiyyah James, who are students at Waikiki Elementary School. So, Violette, how old are you?
I'm 9 years old.
And you attend Waikiki Elementary?
Yeah.
Whose class are you in?
Miss Kunihiro's class.
And what grade is that?
Fourth.
Fourth grade. And Safiyyah?
I'm 9 years old, and the class that I'm in is Mr. Melton's class, and I'm a fourth grader.
Outstanding. So that means you guys are just out of school, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're going to be fifth graders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to change the world next year.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Getting there. We're getting there.
Sort of.
Okay. Cool, cool. So what's unique about going to Waikiki Elementary?
Well, I think it's unique because all the students get a lot of opportunities to express themselves, and everybody supports you, and I think it's just a really great place to be yourself.
So is support like high fives? Is that like support at Waikiki Elementary?
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes.
Verbal high fives?
Yeah.
Awesome. Safiyyah, what's unique for you?
Waikiki School is unique because they use different things at our school than other schools, and it's a school that is really unique, and I like that.
So when you say different things, are those different things like habits of mind?
Yes.
What are the habits of mind?
The habits of mine are pretty much like something that you could do every day, like persisting, which means you keep on trying, and you could include those in your everyday activities.
Okay. So being persistent, kind of like, hey mom, I'd like some ice cream. And I say, no. And then the next day you say, hey mom, how about that ice cream? And then you say that every day. Is that like being persistent?
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Wait, then what's persistence? What's persistence, Violette?
Persistence is like trying hard to reach a goal,
Okay.
but it's not like a goal to get ice cream, but it's more of a goal to like maybe like at our school there's different awards, so maybe a goal for me could be get the Mindful Student of the Year award, and then I would try my hardest to get my goal, so I would persist to reach my goal.
Gotcha. So as being a mindful student, does that mean like you have a huge mind?
No, I know that actually our school vision is to create students who are thoughtful, full of thought.
Okay.
So, but I think mindful, it means like to be nice to everybody and to like use the habits of mind to help others and not just for yourself.
I gotcha. I feel like I'm getting a handle on this habits of mind thing. So Safiyyah, when you think about the habits of mind and some of the activities that you're engaged in at school, what does that look like to you? Like, what do you do at Waikiki Elementary?
Well, at Waikiki Elementary School, we do our best to learn about sustainable things,
Okay.
and we learn about the Hawaiian culture. And our main focus is to like change students to be more mindful of like their surroundings or how they act. For instance, if somebody used to be a bully, our school's mission would probably be to change that person from a bully to a really nice student.
Okay. And so you guys are talking about being nice and being mindful, being aware of your surroundings. So does that extend to things as well as people? I mean, what does that mean for being nice? So let's say your environment. Does your school talk about that?
Yeah, I mean we have every student at Waikiki School has an opportunity to be part of the sustainability class at our school, and that teaches us about how to care for our environment and our land and like just our surroundings,
Okay.
but not really, it doesn't really have to be people, but other things.
So kind of being mindful of everything and caring for people as well as place.
Yeah.
Would that be a good summation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Safiyyah, some of the activities you're involved in are...
Well, we like to go on field trips and stuff, and the places we go to, they usually have something to tell us. For instance, when we went to Camp Erdman, they were helping us learn and stuff about the environment. And also we have this activity in our school called sustainability, and we learn about sustainable ways to help the environment.
Okay. Did you guys do any activities in your classroom kind of on a regular basis? I know you mentioned an acronym, P4C. What does that mean?
That means philosophy for children.
What does that even mean?
It means it's a place where you can be who you are, and we think of a question in our class, and it could be like, what's your favorite animal, or it could be more personal, like, what does smart mean?
Okay.
And then everybody has a chance to think of what they want to say to that question, and then they express their feelings about it and talk to the rest of the class and whoever's with us. And a lot of times we have a guest, especially in her class. There's a guest, Dr. J, and he helps us. He really makes it fun, and he just really, P4C is just really about being who you are and in a safe environment.
Gotcha. So we're going to create a safe environment here. Safiyyah, can you give me a P4C example question? And I'm going to answer, and you tell me if this is how it goes.
Why do people bully other people, even though they don't bully them?
I think people bully other people because they're insecure, and maybe because they don't know how to express their emotions in a peaceful way. Then what happens? What happens in P4C after that?
After P4C, people keep on explaining, and then later on in our classroom, what we usually do is see if people like the topic, and to see if most of the class was listening, and to see how what you did, and also maybe you could find maybe something somebody said, you could think I really think that's true.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do another example then. So since this is Stan the Energy Man, and we talk about energy here, can the question for P4C be, what do you think about energy? Is that an okay question for P4C?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to toss that question to you, Violet. What do you think about energy?
I think it is good, but I think really what comes to my mind is solar panels and renewable energy, and I think those are more helpful, environmentally friendly energies.
Okay. So you don't think of energy bars, or jumping up and down, or you don't think of jazz hands, meaning a lot of energy?
Well, no, we.
No.
Yeah, I mean.
It's okay. Express what you feel. It's okay if you don't think of that.
I think more of things that need energy,
Okay.
Cars and stuff like
Gotcha.
that.
Safiyyah, what do you think about when you think about energy?
When I think about energy, I think about renewable energy.
You don't think about jazz hands?
No.
Oh,
That's
come on.
a sort of different type of energy.
Okay.
Because jazz hands is probably oh, I'm so excited, hooray, today's the special day. And then renewable energy is an energy that you could use to energize other things. For instance, how oil can make a car run,
Hmm?
but instead of using oil, you could use renewable energy. For instance, wind, water, and volcanoes.
And hydrogen? Psst, psst, wink, wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Yes, hydrogen.
Okay, so those are good energy thoughts. I must admit, when I was 9, I don't know that I was thinking about energy that way. I think I was thinking about energy bars and jazz hands. But it's encouraging to hear that your school encourages you to have these conversations and to talk about your environment, and to be aware and to recognize these things. So in a P4C conversation, you falling asleep over there, kiddo?
No, my neck hurts.
Long nights, I tell
Mine.
you. You need more energy. Wink, wink, wink. Maybe hydrogen.
Wink, wink. I don't eat hydrogen. Wink, wink.
So it sounds like a good environment at Waikiki Elementary where you're able to express yourself and think about however you want to think about energy in your own unique way, and that's okay. Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Waikiki sounds like a great place. And we'll continue this energy conversation in just a moment. We'll take a break and we'll welcome our guests back in just a few.
Aloha! How you doing? It's me, Angus McTech, wishing you to welcome and join us to see us on Hibachi Talk on Think Tech Hawaii. Join my co-hosts, Gordo the Tech Czar and Andrew the Security Guy, every Friday from 1300 to 1345. We look forward to seeing you. We'll talk tech and we'll have some wee bit of fun. And remember, let your wing gang free wherever you be. Aloha!
Aloha, my name is Kirsten Baumgart Turner, and I'm the host of Sustainable Hawaii at thinktechhawaii.com. We air live on the internet and also on Oceanic Channel 16. I'd invite you to come for a fresh new show every Tuesday from 12 to 1 o'clock. I try to bring on guests that give us a different viewpoint on aspects of sustainability in Hawaii, as well as trying to unpack some of the difficult concepts of measuring and achieving sustainability, particularly with regard to sustainable economic growth and prosperity in Hawaii. Please join us every Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. Mahalo, aloha.
Okay. Thank you for staying with us here at Stan the Energy Man in our Power Hour on this Friday afternoon. We've been speaking with Violette Skilling and Safiyyah James from Waikiki Elementary School, and we left off talking about jazz hands, right? And energy, right?
Yeah.
That's where we were.
Yep.
So you were sharing with me that when you think of energy, jazz hands don't come to mind, which is okay. Things like renewable energy and energizing things come to mind.
Yeah.
And so, at Waikiki Elementary, do you guys do any projects that have to do with energy generation or learning how energy works, or do you do anything like that at school? You there in the red shirt.
What I did with energy was in my GT group at school, we thought of questions and we made a sign out of them with QR codes.
Oh, cool.
And my question was, if you covered Diamond Head with solar panels, how much electricity would it produce? So I think it was fun to do that, and I learned a lot more about energy.
Okay, that's a lot of solar panels. It would be really bright. A lot of
Yeah.
reflection if Diamond Head was covered in solar panels. That'd be nuts. Safiyyah, have you done any activities in school that relate to energy?
Yes. In third grade, we did a science project where we made a solar oven. Well, and so we got cardboard boxes, made it look like an oven, put foil over it, and lay it somewhere sunny. And then that gave enough energy to make a s'more.
Did you eat the s'more at school?
Yeah.
You didn't say we ate it?
No.
Jiminy
We
Christmas.
only made
That
What
was
did you
last
guys
year
do
unless
at
you want a
school?
last year old.
Oh, right. No, I wouldn't want an old s'more. Okay. Did you do anything in third grade? I mean, in fourth grade. You just said third grade. Right.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
You there in the white shirt.
Me. So in fourth grade, we did a sun and earth model project, a rocket project, and a solar project.
Sun, rocket, and solar?
Sun and Earth model.
Sun and Earth, okay. Keep going, I'm following.
The Sun and Earth model was a model that we used to show the revolution and rotation of Earth around the sun. And the rockets were where we used different variables, which is like different things, like something you'll change and something you'll keep the same, and how you'll measure that effect.
Okay.
And so we did different amounts of water, and we found out which one went the highest. It was 500 milliliters. And after that, we found out how many bottles would go the highest.
Oh, I remember that.
And then the highest was 2 bottles, or it might have been 3. So that then our last variable was fins, or no fins, with all the other. We would keep the other things the same. And then we launched it, and then we found out which went higher, and actually my group went the highest.
Outstanding. High five on that one. Whoop, whoop. Good job.
My group
So-
went the highest too.
Oh, high five on that one. Whoop,
I
whoop.
got 8.4.
I got 8.5.
So what does that mean? What
Or
made it
6.
go? Why did it go so far or high?
Well, we attached it. We filled the bottle with 500 milliliters, and we turned it upside down onto this like pump. And another person pumped 7 times and into the bottle, and there was a string attached to it, and we locked the bottle onto this pump, and someone else pulled a string, and and it would like blast the rocket up, and then but once that person pulled the string, someone else would start a timer, and then it would go up into the air, and then once it landed, you would stop the timer, and all the water would come out, and that's which is like propelling it up, the water in the air.
Okay.
And actually, every time our rocket fell to the ground, it got like smushed.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it didn't work really the second time because it like a fin fell off and it hit the
Just a
ground
one-time
so
thing.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it sounds to me kind of like energy was used in that. Would you say that was a use of a type of energy? It sounded like it.
Yeah, I mean there was, really just air and water. So does that count as a kind of energy?
It does, because energy
Okay.
moves things. Energy is kind of what makes things go. So whether that's air and water, whether that's oil, whether that's solar energy, energy moves things. It kind of gets things going. So Safiyyah, when you talk about energy, and we talk about renewable energy, and we talk about leaning to the side instead of sitting up straight, the energy that moves your body and that moves things like cars, and we talk about renewable energy and sustainability, what does that even have to do with each other? Are those two conversations that are totally separate? Does energy and sustainability mean two totally different things, or are there some similarities between those two?
Well, there's some energies that are related. Well, you could say related to sustainability. For instance, hydrogen, because hydrogen helps sustain the environment, other than fossil fuels, which pollutes the environment and doesn't help like hydrogen. So you could say the good energies are the awesome, the superheroes, and then the bad energies are the supervillains, polluting the environment, just like a supervillain superhero game.
Right.
So they're fighting against each other to get the balance. So, for example, this is about food. If you ate way too much candy and you didn't eat any fruits or veggies or proteins or anything, you could get really sick. So maybe next time you eat a good amount of vegetables and fruits and stuff, and a good amount of candy and stuff.
Or just not eat any candy,
Or
maybe?
But then the balance would go.
But then you'd be a lot more healthy, instead of being normally healthy, then you'd be
Uber
really healthy.
Okay, gotcha.
And also, so maybe if you eat the same things every day, I just learned, well, I haven't just learned this, but I learned this. If you eat the same thing every day, it's actually really bad for you.
Oh, you need variety?
Mm-hmm.
So I heard you mention a few things. You mentioned balance when you talked about sustainability. So is being able to sustain something, does that have something to do with things being balanced? Like if it's imbalanced, is that still sustainable?
Well, I mean, sustainability is, if you break sustainability into two parts, then it's sustain and able. And I think sustain means to keep something the same. So maybe that has to do with balance. So really it's you are able to keep something the same. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that means like for land, but maybe it means to like for your body and stuff to keep it like healthy and exercised, and not full of candy. So.
Right. So if fossil fuels were candy, would it be fair to say that it would be unhealthy for the environment to consume a lot of fossil fuels?
Yeah.
Interesting. But people like to use fossil fuels. It's easy to put in your car, you burn it to make electricity, like it's super, super accessible, kind of like candy at the grocery store when it's really easy to grab when you're about to check out. But then we know about renewable energy. So if you had a choice, fossil fuel candy or renewable energy vegetables and fruits, what do you choose?
Renewable energy vegetables.
High five on that. How about you, Safiyyah? What would you choose?
Renewable energy, vegetables, and fruits.
Renewable energy vegetables and fruits. High five on that. So it sounds like you guys have a pretty good handle on what would be healthy for the environment. So I think you're ready to change the world. Yeah?
Okay.
Silence. What do you?
Yeah,
We're
changing
getting
the
there.
world one solar panel at a time.
Outstanding. Or 1 kilogram of hydrogen at a time. Yeah, wink, wink, wink.
Can't really wink twice in a row.
It's okay, I wink with both eyes. So we talked about renewable energy. We talked about sustainability. We talked about being in a space where you're able to speak freely and comfortably about what you feel and what you think about your surrounding environment. So what does that do for you guys? Do you feel comfortable to go out and change things if you wanted to, or do you feel like you have to keep things the same even if you don't like it?
I think I have the courage right now to just go out and save the world because I'm really interested in helping the environment.
Okay. Violet, do you feel empowered or courage?
Yeah, I think so, but I think me and Safiyyah have actually been talking about it for a while, and when we grow up, we want to work together to help save the environment, and we want to do like beach cleanups and different change to hydrogen.
Yes.
And,
I can't wink. I'm all winked out, but yes.
so yeah, we want to work together to help that because since we're really good friends, we want to stay in touch, but we also want to help the environment. Right?
So I appreciate you guys talking about being good friends and having conversations and doing things to help the environment. This is a plug to talk about what you guys did last year. And we can talk about that when we come back from the break. And we hope that our audience will remain with us and thank them for their time thus far. We'll see you in a bit.
Aloha, namaskar, and hello. My name is Anu Hittel, and I host a show, Climate Change Beyond Outrage. In it, we go beyond outrage to look at solutions to climate problems facing people, nations, and the world. Join me every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Hawaii Standard Time. See you then.
Aloha, my name is Justine Espiritu, and I am the co-host of Hawaii Farmers Series. This is my co-host, Matthew Johnson, and we are live with you every Thursday at 4 p.m. at thinktechhawaii.com. And our show focuses on Hawaii's local food community. We feature not only the farmers that are producing our food, but we also feature the supporters and other folks involved in the community that are trying to promote local agriculture.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on Think Tech Hawaii. I hope that you will tune in and watch the show. It is inspiring and uplifting and educational also. We talk with artists of all different ilk. We talk with them about what they do, how they do it, and most importantly, most dear to my heart, why they do it. And it never ceases to be fascinating when you get the answer to that question. I hope you'll join us on Center Stage, 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoons. Aloha.
Thank you so much for sticking with us in this Stan, the Energy Man Power Hour on your Friday afternoon. We hope that you've enjoyed our conversation thus far with Violette Skilling and Safiyyah James. We've talked about energy, we've talked about P for C, we've talked about jazz hands, and we've talked about hydrogen. And last, we left off talking a little bit about what you guys talk about in your spare time and what you've done about it in this past year and before. So, I remember when you guys started the club, starting with nature. Can you share with me a little bit about how that came to be?
Well, me and Safiyyah really wanted to do something to learn more about animals and for ourselves and to also teach other people about animals. So every week on Mondays and Wednesdays?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We would, sometimes Fridays, but sometimes we wouldn't. But mostly Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we would get this group together and we would have a box full of like names of animals and we would shake it up and take one out. And then we like researched that animal and talked about what we already knew about it. And just like really, like we learned a little bit more about it every day. And then we had like 25 animals in the box, and then we'd refill it every time it got empty. And then at the end of the year, we had a little party. So it was fun.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
So when we do the show, and I talk to the different guests that we have, I like to talk to them about what they do in the community and how other people can get involved and kind of what inspires them to be engaged. And so I asked you about starting the club and kind of why you started that club and what it looked like, because I'm curious what you would say to maybe your peers, maybe other students or adults or people in the community at large. Like, what would you say to them if they said, well, I care about this thing? Then would you say you should do something about it, or should they just care about it and not do anything? Safiyyah, go ahead.
I think that they should care about it instead of just ignoring something that they really care about. So maybe they should start taking action and start helping the thing that they really like. For instance, if maybe there's this art class that didn't have enough money to pay for it, you should take action and start helping it.
So like fundraising action or like information action? What does action look like?
Well, actually, it's both of those things. You could get information about that art class and how they do it, and use that information to make a fundraiser so that will encourage people. So like if they ask you a question like, oh, when was this place founded? And then you're like, I don't know, I don't really know much about this place and I really want to save it. So how are you supposed to save it when you don't really know much about it?
So it sounds like you have to do a little bit of research. Research sounds key. Both of you nodded like, yeah, you got to do your research. So when you guys started your Starting with Nature Club, what kind of research did you do?
Well, we researched the animals that we
during
picked
the
out.
club. Gotcha. Did you do research on forming a club, or did you come together and figure out how to make that happen?
Yeah, we did research on forming the club, but researching why people should care about it, because the problems about with the environment and the animals and how we can help save them. So we just cried the entire time. But
oh gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty sad, but I think that taught us a lot about it and it helped our club a bit.
So Safiyyah, when you're doing research and you're learning about things that might make you cry, do you feel sad and like powerless, like you can't do anything about it? Or how do you feel when you're
I feel sad, but I don't feel powerless. It actually sort of makes me get a little more power because that's showing something that's happening and that's not going to stop happening until somebody starts taking action. So it's just like the building blocks of life. If one block falls down, the rest do too. So you need to keep that block up.
Oh, sorry. You guys are great. Oh my goodness, you're so inspirational. Sorry, audience. Also, this is my child, which is why I'm so emotional, and I love these two. You guys are inspiring. So a lot of times in my job, we have these meetings upon meetings upon meetings where we talk about how we're going to educate people and how we have to educate the youth and we have to get them inspired and we have to tell you guys things and make a legacy and do all these things so that you have this beautiful environment left over. And so I would ask you, what are the things that you need from us? Because we're always trying to figure out what we need to give you, what information we need to give you, but it sounds like you guys got some good information. So what do you need from us folks, talking and planning and doing things?
I think really what we need is support, especially when me and Safiyyah became vegetarians. We needed support from friends and family because it was hard. I don't think we could have done it without someone saying that's the right thing to do. And I think like without Safiyyah, like no one would really, like my parents were like, really? And then, but we really just wanted to do it and we didn't really see, we thought it was the thing that we could do right now when we're 9 years old and no one really like, we have to do something, but we don't know what to do. So the way that we wanted to show how we're going to help the environment is that we wanted to become vegetarians, and I think it's really gratifying. But really, you need support, and then if you don't have that support, then it's never going to happen.
That's a pretty powerful statement to say if you don't have support, it's never going to happen. But I think it's true. I think a lot of things that have taken place over time, if we guide those decisions and if we have support, it's a good thing, and those things happen. But similarly, support of bad ideas has also pushed those ideas forward as well. So support is definitely pivotal. Safiyyah, I'm so glad you guys are both here. So when you became a vegetarian, you talked about, Violette, you mentioned wanting to do something at the age of 9 and kind of not really having information to do something else. So Safiyyah, if you were to ask an adult or to ask an older student, like what kind of information would you need to have more action, or to do other things? So you're vegetarian, and then let's say next year you want to do something else. What would you ask people to do?
Maybe you could ask them like tell them what you're gonna do and like, will you help me with this? And like ask them for support, and then maybe you could go ask other people for support. So when you want to do that thing, you can do it because you have all those people behind you to support you.
So would you need information as part of that support, making sure that you have the appropriate information to share a particular message? Would that be supportive?
Yes.
So that's something that many adults do. So as in our daytime jobs, when we're at computers, typing away and doing really fascinating things, staring at computer screens, a lot of what we're doing is going through information. And so it sounds like to me sometimes you don't have those pieces of information that you might want when you want to advocate for something. And so if you had more information and you had support and you had a particular cause, it sounds like you guys could be pretty effective in changing the world. At 9 years old even. I think you guys are on a fantastic start to change the world. And I think it's really important that you've taken the responsibility to do the things that you can as individuals do to change things. I think that says a lot for our entire nation, really, and the world. But it says a lot for growing up in Hawaii and growing up at Waikiki Elementary, where you have the opportunity to speak your mind, where you're supported, where you're encouraged to share your feelings, and you're encouraged to be engaged with your surrounding environment. So if there's anything that you have in your mind that you would really, really like to do in your 5th grade year, your last year at Waikiki Elementary, what would it be?
I think like get a big group together to like maybe like ask the teachers and then get like maybe our class together and like go down to like Waikiki Beach and have like a big beach cleanup. I think that would be really cool, and it would be a really great way to leave Waikiki School by doing something important.
That sounds awesome. Safiyyah, do you have an idea for something like that as well?
I think I would have a big group next to a place that really needs cleaning in Waikiki. Have a fundraiser there and everybody groups together, picks up rubbish, throws it away, helps clean up the environment. Like people walking by, you could like give them posters like help save the environment, pick up a piece of rubbish. Because I actually read like if every person in the world picked up 10 pieces of rubbish, the whole world would be like mostly clean.
Oh wow, so you'd let people know that they can do individual things on their own, and even with this group project and then on their own in their day-to-day lives, they could just individually pick up more rubbish. It's like a twofer. You get a fundraiser, you get a group activity, you get homework to do in your day-to-day lives each day. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Sounds like a nice 5th grade project as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like this project is something that we might be able to ask our viewership, our audience to contribute to, and I'm not asking you to contribute monetarily. I'm just encouraging you to remain engaged with your community, with your community schools, with your organizations, and to be engaged with the future. We speak a great deal about preserving this island and this world for the future generation, and the future generation is here, and they're engaged, and they're asking for your support, and they're asking for information. So I hope that you listen to this. I hope that you've enjoyed your time with us this afternoon, and I hope that you engage and respond to the call to action. We'll see you next week. Aloha.